Have you ever felt like your life is lacking a true sense of purpose? It's easy to get caught up in the hustle and bustle of daily life, to find yourself questioning what it's all about. We often hear people talk about their purpose or their calling, but how many of us truly understand what that means for our own lives? And even more importantly, how many of us feel a deep sense of peace in the journey of discovering that purpose? The truth is, the journey to discover your divine purpose isn't just about reaching a particular goal or destination. It's not just about ticking off boxes on a list of achievements or waiting for that aha moment when everything suddenly falls into place. It's about finding a deeper connection with yourself, understanding who you truly are, and aligning your life with something much bigger than yourself. This journey is as much about the process as it is about the result. It's about the way we evolve and grow, the peace we cultivate along the way, and the insights we gain through each step. But here's the reality. This journey is not an easy one. It's filled with challenges, uncertainty, and sometimes even doubt. You may wonder if you are on the right path, or question if your purpose is truly aligned with your soul's calling. These feelings are natural and part of the process. The journey to discovering your divine purpose can feel like an emotional roller coaster, with moments of clarity followed by times of confusion. Yet, in the midst of all these ups and downs, there is an opportunity to find peace. Not just when you finally reach your purpose, but during every single step you take toward it. You might be thinking, how can I find peace in the middle of such uncertainty? Well, the good news is that peace is something we can find along the way if we learn how to tap into it. It's not something that comes only when you achieve your purpose. It's something you can experience every day in the very process of searching for it. By understanding yourself better, by quieting the noise and distractions of life, and by connecting with the divine energy within you, peace becomes more than just a distant hope. It becomes a living, breathing part of your journey. The truth is that you already have the power within you to find this peace. It's not hidden somewhere in the future, waiting for you to reach your goals. It's right here, right now, in the present moment. It's in the stillness you create when you stop for a moment, take a deep breath, and allow yourself to feel the connection between your inner self and the greater universe. It's in the quiet moments of reflection where you feel a sense of belonging and purpose, even when everything around you may seem uncertain. In this video, we will explore how to find peace on the journey of discovering your divine purpose. We'll dive into practical steps you can take to align yourself with your true calling and create a sense of peace within, even when the road ahead seems unclear. We will talk about how to embrace the journey itself, not just the destination, and how to recognize that the moments of struggle are just as important as the moments of clarity. Because in the end, it's not just about getting to the end goal, it's about becoming the person you were always meant to be along the way. If this resonates with you, if you find yourself seeking more clarity, peace, and purpose in your own life, I encourage you to stick around. Together, we will explore how to navigate this journey, how to stay grounded in the face of challenges, and how to find peace within yourself, no matter where you are in your process of discovery. And before we dive deeper into today's video, if you find this topic interesting and feel like it could resonate with others who are on their own spiritual journeys, please don't forget to like, share this video, and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any upcoming videos. There's so much more we'll be exploring in the coming weeks, and I want to make sure you're part of this journey with us. As we move forward, remember this. The journey to discovering your divine purpose is not a race. It's a sacred walk, one that you take at your own pace. There's no need to rush to the finish line. In fact, the real treasure lies in the peace you find in each step. So take a deep breath, settle into this moment, and let's explore how you can find that peace as you embark on your own path toward your divine purpose. Peace is often something we think of as a final destination, a place we'll arrive at once we've achieved certain goals or reached a specific point in our lives. We tend to associate peace with success or the completion of our purpose. The truth, however, is that peace is not something that comes at the end of a journey. It is something that we must cultivate throughout the journey itself. Inner peace is not a destination you arrive at only when you have fulfilled your purpose. but rather a state of mind you achieve by embracing every step of your journey, regardless of the outcome. Many of us spend years focusing solely on the results, whether it's achieving a career milestone, completing a personal goal, or attaining a certain level of success. We believe that when we reach that endpoint, we'll finally feel at peace. However, this mindset often leads to frustration and disappointment because we realize that peace does not come from the results we achieve, but from the process we go through to get there. Every step along the way is a chance to find peace if we learn how to be present in the moment and appreciate the journey itself. It's important to recognize that peace is not found in the future, nor is it dependent on achieving a specific outcome. Peace is something we experience in the present. It is the calmness we feel when we align ourselves with our values, when we embrace each step of our journey, no matter how small. Every decision we make, every action we take, and every moment we experience along the way is an opportunity to cultivate peace. Instead of focusing solely on the finish line, we need to learn how to find peace in each step we take, in each lesson we learn, and in every experience we have along the way. So how do we begin to cultivate this peace? How do we learn to embrace the process and not just focus on the result? The first step is to learn to enjoy every step of the journey. It may sound simple, but it is often difficult for many people to appreciate the small, everyday moments. We live in a fast-paced world where everything seems urgent, and it's easy to get caught up in the rush to reach our goals. But true peace comes from slowing down and taking the time to savor the journey, no matter how small or insignificant it may seem at the time. For example, let's consider someone working towards a major career milestone. Perhaps they're aiming for a promotion or trying to land their dream job. It's easy to get caught up in the desire to reach that goal as quickly as possible. However, if we shift our focus to the process instead of the outcome, we can begin to find peace in the daily tasks and challenges that make up that journey. The long hours, the learning moments, the setbacks, and the small victories. These are all part of the process that brings us closer to our goal. When we learn to appreciate each of these steps, rather than focusing solely on the end result, we begin to feel more at peace with the journey itself. Similarly, in our personal lives, many of us are focused on achieving specific outcomes, whether it's building a family, buying a house, or becoming physically fit. We often measure our success by how quickly we reach these goals, but the reality is that the true value lies not in the final result, but in the process. Every day spent working toward these goals is a chance to connect with ourselves, to learn and grow. By learning to enjoy each step along the way, we can find peace in the process itself, rather than waiting for a future outcome to give us permission to be at peace. The key to understanding this concept is to recognize that our divine purpose is not just about achieving specific results. It's about living in alignment with our values and goals on a daily basis. We often think of our divine purpose as something that can only be fulfilled when we achieve certain milestones. We set ourselves up with the belief that once we've accomplished something significant, we will have found our purpose. But this kind of thinking is flawed because it places all our focus on the end result rather than on the journey itself. In reality, our divine purpose is something we fulfill every single day through the choices we make and the actions we take. It is found in the way we live our lives, in the way we show up for others, and in the way we align our actions with our values. Peace comes not from a specific outcome, but from living in alignment with our higher self, our core beliefs, and the greater purpose we are all a part of. It's about waking up every day with the intention to live your truth and do what resonates with your soul, no matter where you are on your journey. One of the most powerful ways to see this in action is through the stories of people who have found peace not by reaching a particular goal, but by embracing each step of their journey. Take, for example, the story of a woman who decided to leave her stable corporate job to pursue a career in art. She didn't know if she would ever make it as a professional artist, but she knew that she had to follow her passion. Along the way, she faced many struggles, financial difficulties, self-doubt, and uncertainty about her future. However, throughout it all, she found peace in the act of creating. Each day, she found joy in picking up her paintbrush, in experimenting with new techniques, and in expressing herself through her art. While she didn't know if she would ever become a successful artist, instead of focusing solely on reaching a certain weight or achieving a specific body type, he focused on making small, sustainable changes to his lifestyle. Every day, he made the choice to move his body, eat healthier, and take care of his mental well-being. Along the way, he faced setbacks, but he found peace in the consistency of his efforts. He realized that the true reward wasn't just in achieving a certain appearance or physical condition. It was in the way he had transformed his mindset and embraced the process of becoming a healthier version of himself. These examples show that peace doesn't come from a final result, but from the process itself. The journey is where we find meaning, growth, and fulfillment. When we shift our focus from the destination to the process, we can begin to experience peace in every step we take. We learn to find joy in the journey, to embrace the challenges, and to appreciate the small victories along the way. This is how we align ourselves with our divine purpose, not by achieving a specific result, but by living in accordance with our values and embracing the journey with an open heart. As we continue on our own journeys, it's important to remember that peace is not something we have to wait for. It is not a distant goal that we will only reach once we've achieved everything we set out to do. Peace is something that we can experience in every moment, in every step we take. By learning to enjoy the process and embracing each part of our journey, we open ourselves to the peace that has always been available to us. So let's not wait for the result to feel at peace. Let's find peace in the journey itself. Connecting with divine energy is not something that requires grand gestures or special circumstances. In fact, it can happen in the most ordinary moments of our daily lives. We often imagine that divine energy is something distant, something we must seek through extraordinary means. However, the truth is that divine energy is always available to us, flowing through everything around us and within us. It is present in the smallest details of our existence, and it is up to us to tune into that frequency and connect with it. The key is learning to feel the divine presence in the everyday moments, to open ourselves to the connection that is always available, no matter where we are or what we are doing. One of the most powerful ways to connect with divine energy is through practices such as meditation, prayer, or simply taking time to feel our presence in the universe. These practices help us slow down, clear our minds, and open our hearts to the divine. Meditation in particular is a powerful tool for quieting the mind and allowing ourselves to become attuned to the divine frequency that surrounds us. Through meditation, we create space to listen to our inner voice, to connect with our higher self, and to experience the presence of something greater than ourselves. In the hustle and bustle of everyday life, it's easy to become disconnected from this divine energy. We get caught up in the noise of our thoughts, the demands of our responsibilities, and the distractions of the world around us. But by taking time each day to stop, breathe, and reconnect with ourselves, we can tap into that divine presence. It doesn't require hours of meditation or lengthy rituals. It can be as simple as taking a few minutes to be still, to breathe deeply, and to consciously invite the divine into our lives. When we take time to meditate or pray, we are not just asking for guidance or help. We are also opening ourselves to receive the love, peace, and wisdom that the divine has to offer. We are inviting the energy of the universe to flow through us, allowing us to align with our higher purpose and live more in harmony with our true selves. Even in the midst of our busy lives, we can carve out moments of stillness to reconnect with that divine energy and feel the peace that comes from being aligned with it. Mindfulness is another powerful practice that can help us connect with divine energy in every step we take. Mindfulness is the practice of being fully present in the moment, without judgment or distraction. It's about paying attention to our thoughts, feelings, and surroundings with a sense of openness and acceptance. By practicing mindfulness, we train ourselves to be more aware of the divine energy that is present in every aspect of our lives. We begin to notice the beauty in the smallest moments, the feel of the breeze on our skin, the sound of birds chirping, the warmth of the sun on our face. These are all expressions of the divine, and when we take the time to notice them, we are connecting with that energy in a deep and meaningful way. To begin practicing mindfulness, start by taking a few minutes each day to simply stop and breathe. Find a quiet space where you won't be disturbed, close your eyes, and focus on your breath. Breathe in slowly and deeply, and as you exhale, allow yourself to relax and release any tension or stress. With each breath, bring your awareness to the present moment. Let go of any thoughts about the past or future and simply be present in the here and now. As you focus on your breath, begin to notice the sensations in your body, the rise and fall of your chest, the feeling of the air entering and leaving your lungs. Allow yourself to feel grounded and centered in this moment, and open yourself to the divine energy that is always with you. In addition to meditation and mindfulness, there are many simple exercises that can help you connect with divine energy throughout your day. One of these is journaling. Writing down your thoughts, feelings, and experiences can be a powerful way to connect with your inner self and the divine. When you journal, you allow yourself to express what is on your heart, to release any emotions or thoughts that may be clouding your mind, and to create space for divine inspiration to flow through you. You can write about anything: your hopes, dreams, challenges, or moments of gratitude. The act of writing helps you connect with your inner voice and allows the divine to speak to you through your words. Another simple exercise is walking in nature. Nature is one of the most powerful expressions of divine energy, and spending time outdoors can help you reconnect with the earth and the universe. Whether you are walking through a park, hiking in the mountains, or simply taking a stroll through your neighborhood, being in nature helps you feel grounded and connected to the world around you. As you walk, take notice of the sights, sounds, and smells around you. Feel the earth beneath your feet, the wind in your hair, and the warmth of the sun on your skin. These sensations are reminders of the divine energy that is constantly flowing through the world. By being present in these moments, you open yourself to the divine energy that is always available. Lastly, one of the simplest yet most profound exercises is simply breathing and listening to your inner voice. In the hustle and bustle of daily life, it's easy to become disconnected from our inner wisdom. But when we take the time to breathe deeply and listen, we begin to hear the subtle guidance that comes from within. Our inner voice is the voice of our higher self, our soul's wisdom, and the divine presence that resides within us. When we take a moment to tune into this voice, we are reminded of our purpose, our direction, and the peace that is always available to us. It's important to remember that connecting with divine energy doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't require special rituals, long hours of prayer, or elaborate practices. It simply requires us to slow down, be present, and open ourselves to the divine presence that is already here. By practicing mindfulness, taking time to meditate, journaling, walking in nature, and listening to our inner voice, we can create space for divine energy to flow through our lives. In doing so, we align ourselves with our higher purpose and experience the peace that comes from being in harmony with the divine. Every step of the journey can be an opportunity to connect with this divine energy, and by embracing these practices, we begin to feel more at peace and aligned with our true selves. Challenges are an inevitable part of life, and they are especially present when we are on a journey to discover our divine purpose. No one's path is free of obstacles, no matter how much we desire for things to go smoothly. In fact, the pursuit of our divine purpose often brings with it a series of tests and trials, some of which may feel overwhelming at times. But it's crucial to understand that these challenges are not just inconveniences, they are an essential part of the process. They are opportunities to learn, to grow, and to deepen our connection with ourselves and the divine energy within us. The divine purpose is not always smooth or linear. It's not a path that is easily walked, and often it's when we are faced with difficulties that we learn the most about who we truly are. We may encounter setbacks, moments of self-doubt, external challenges, and even periods where it seems like everything is falling apart. But it's in these very moments that our purpose becomes clearer. Not because the path is easier, but because we find the strength and resilience to navigate through it. The beauty of the journey lies in how we rise to the challenge, how we persevere even when things seem uncertain. The importance of challenges in the process of finding peace cannot be overstated. Challenges are not meant to break us, they are meant to build us. They push us beyond our comfort zones, forcing us to confront our fears, doubts, and weaknesses. They present opportunities for transformation and growth, and in the midst of these challenges, we have the chance to find peace, not by avoiding the difficulty, but by embracing it with a calm, steady mind. When we face a challenge, it is easy to become overwhelmed by the uncertainty of the situation, to panic about the potential outcomes, or to worry about whether or not we are capable of overcoming it. These thoughts can cloud our judgment, create stress, and make it harder for us to find peace in the moment. However, the key to finding peace in difficulty is not to stress about the outcome, but to maintain a calm mindset throughout the process. The peace we seek is not something that is dependent on external circumstances. It is a state of mind that we cultivate through our response to those circumstances. When we learn to maintain a calm and composed mindset in the face of challenges, we are able to detach ourselves from the anxiety of the situation and approach it from a place of clarity. Instead of reacting impulsively or letting our fears dictate our actions, we can step back and assess the situation with a sense of calm. This doesn't mean that we ignore the reality of the challenge or pretend that everything is fine. It means that we choose to respond from a place of inner strength and wisdom rather than from fear or panic. One of the most important lessons in facing challenges is learning to cultivate perseverance. Perseverance is the ability to continue moving forward even when things are difficult. It's about staying committed to the journey even when the road ahead seems uncertain or filled with obstacles. Perseverance is what keeps us going when we want to give up, what keeps us rooted in our purpose when external circumstances try to pull us off course. It's not about forcing ourselves to move forward at all costs, but about continuing to show up day after day and trusting that the steps we are taking, no matter how small, are leading us toward our divine purpose. Resilience is another quality that is tested in times of challenge. Resilience is our ability to bounce back from adversity, to adapt to change, and to recover from setbacks. It's what allows us to find peace in the midst of difficulty, because we recognize that challenges are temporary and that we have the strength to overcome them. Resilience doesn't mean that we won't experience pain, disappointment, or frustration. It means that we have the ability to heal and to keep moving forward, even when life knocks us down. It's the knowledge that every challenge we face is an opportunity to become stronger and more aligned with our higher self. Acceptance is also a crucial element in finding peace in times of challenge. Acceptance doesn't mean that we passively accept things that are wrong or harmful. It means that we acknowledge the reality of the situation without resistance, without getting caught up in negative emotions or wishing that things were different. When we accept a challenge for what it is, we free ourselves from the weight of resistance. Instead of wasting energy on what we cannot change, we focus on what we can control, our response to the situation. Acceptance allows us to find peace because it helps us release the need for control, for perfection, or for a specific outcome. We learn to trust the process, knowing that every challenge we face is a part of the larger journey that is unfolding. It's also important to remember that peace is not something that comes easily or automatically, especially in the midst of difficulties. It is a practice, a continuous process that we must actively cultivate. Peace doesn't just appear when things are going well, it is something that we can choose, even in the most difficult times. Just as we practice mindfulness to stay grounded and present in our daily lives, we must also practice peace when faced with challenges. We may not always feel peaceful, but by practicing self-compassion, patience, and understanding, we can begin to create space for peace to emerge, even in the midst of adversity. One powerful way to maintain peace during challenges is through self-awareness. By becoming aware of our thoughts, emotions, and reactions, we can begin to identify the patterns that arise when we are faced with difficulty. Are we quick to judge ourselves? Do we spiral into negative thoughts or worry about the future? By recognizing these patterns, we can begin to interrupt them and choose a different response. Self-awareness allows us to catch ourselves before we fall into despair or frustration, and it helps us make more conscious choices about how we approach challenges. Another important practice is compassion, both for ourselves and for others. Challenges often bring up difficult emotions, and it's easy to be hard on ourselves when we feel like we are failing or struggling. However, practicing self-compassion allows us to acknowledge our struggles without judgment. It reminds us that we are human, that it's okay to not have all the answers, and that it's okay to make mistakes. By treating ourselves with kindness and understanding, we can navigate difficulties with greater peace and resilience. Finally, it's important to remember that you are not alone on this journey. When faced with challenges, it's easy to feel isolated, as though we are the only ones going through hardship. But the truth is that everyone faces difficulties in their lives, and we are all connected through our shared experiences. You are not alone in your struggles, and you don't have to carry the weight of them by yourself. Reach out to others, whether it's through prayer, community, or seeking support from loved ones. The strength of connection can bring peace even in the most difficult moments. The journey to discovering our divine purpose is not always easy, but it is always worth it. Challenges are an integral part of that journey, and they are opportunities for growth, learning, and transformation. By embracing challenges with a calm mindset, cultivating perseverance, resilience, and acceptance, and remembering that peace is a process, we can navigate difficulties with greater ease and find peace even in the most challenging times. Remember, you are not alone on this journey, and every challenge you face is an opportunity to grow closer to your divine purpose and to the peace that is always available within you. As we come to the end of our journey together in this video, let's take a moment to reflect on the key points we've discussed. One of the most important takeaways is that peace doesn't just come from the destination or from reaching a particular goal. True peace is not a distant destination we can only access once we've accomplished everything we've set out to do. Instead, peace comes from the process of living each day, from how we approach the moments along the way, and from the mindset we cultivate in our daily lives. The journey itself is where peace can be found, not just at the end when we think we've arrived. By connecting with the divine energy within you, you open yourself to a deeper sense of peace. This energy is always present, flowing through every moment of your life, and it is there to guide you, support you, and help you navigate the twists and turns of your journey. When you become aware of this divine energy, you begin to realize that peace is not something external or separate from you. It is something that resides within you, and it's available to you in every moment, in every breath, and in every step you take on your journey. One of the greatest challenges we face on this path is the fear and worry that arise when we encounter obstacles. It's easy to become overwhelmed by difficulties and to feel like we are being tested beyond our limits. But I want to encourage you not to fear or worry about challenges. They are not signs that you are on the wrong path. Rather, they are opportunities for growth, transformation, and learning. Each challenge you face is a chance to become more resilient, more compassionate, and more aligned with your divine purpose. Embrace them as part of your journey, knowing that they are there to help you evolve and step into a higher version of yourself. As you continue on your journey, remember to walk with faith and peace in your heart. Trust that you are on the right path, even when it feels uncertain or difficult. The peace you seek is not something you need to chase after or wait for. It is already within you, and it is present with you in every step you take. Keep going, knowing that each moment is a part of the divine plan, and you are exactly where you need to be. You have the strength, resilience, and wisdom to navigate this journey with peace and confidence. So, walk forward with courage and an open heart, trusting that the peace you seek will meet you in every moment. If you found this video helpful and inspiring, I encourage you to take a moment to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. By subscribing, you'll stay connected to more videos like this one that can guide and support you on your journey. Let's walk this path together as you discover your divine purpose and continue to cultivate peace within yourself. Remember, your divine purpose has already begun, right now, in this very moment. You don't need to wait for some future time or event to begin living it. It is already unfolding in the steps you are taking today, in the choices you are making right now. Trust in the process and trust in the peace that is already within you. You are not alone on this journey, and every step you take brings you closer to the fulfillment of your divine purpose. Keep going with peace in your heart, and know that you are exactly where you need to be.